Everyone, thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus. WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is committed to your safety with 6 hours of continuous team coverage.
This is a relentless storm, Dave.
We're fortunate we all made it out alive.
And our network of skycams across the state alerting you to danger, bringing you live footage of tornadoes as they touch down in Wathau County.
Look at this, Chase. Guys, look at that.
This is ground zero almost. I mean, this is really hard to stomach, like I said.
We take our commitment to being on your side seriously, and together we're Mississippi Strong. Weekdays, stream First Alert Weather Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
WLBT's First Alert Weather Team is keeping you up to date with the latest information. From your morning commute to your afternoon drive, we're on your side, streaming on your favorite devices. WLBT First Alert Weather Plus.
All right, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, but our weather's pretty much the same story as we were yesterday. But the fog has cleared out for the most part, just a blanket of clouds overhead, and we're warming up rather quickly. It's already 73 outside, and as you can tell, the humidity is at 84%, so a little bit sticky this morning. But we're eventually going to see a little bit more sunshine peeking through the clouds later this afternoon, and with that, also rising temperatures to the low 80s later on today. So pretty much the same of what we saw yesterday, but maybe a few degrees warmer, but no need to worry about the rain gear for this afternoon.
No, not at all. It's just going to be a warm and muggy day. Definitely not feeling like fall here in central Mississippi, and definitely feels like it needs to rain. But the good news is with some storms, we'll actually see some cooler weather on the way, and it's not going to be a drastic change here like we saw just last week where we dropped from the 80s to the 40s. We're going to be gradually dropping from the 80s down to the 50s, but thankfully not in the span of 2 days, over the span of 10 days. So it'll be nice and gradual for us here at home.
Yeah, and we've got two systems moving in. The first one is expected on Friday, so that will knock down our temperatures slightly. And then the second one's expected towards the beginning of next week. Right now, it looks like Tuesday is when that second front will move in. And then behind that, much colder air setting up for us, and temperatures only topping out in the mid to upper 50s by the end of Thanksgiving week and into that following weekend. So with those fronts, we're also going to see some scattered showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, although severe threat looks really limited at this point. But again, that first front expected Friday. It could be in the morning, so that's something to keep in mind. It could bring impacts to the Friday morning commute. And then as we get into the weekend, we'll see that front continue to pass overhead and bring us some slightly cooler conditions, a little less humid, but still above average for this time of year. And then going into the beginning of next week, right now it looks like Tuesday, we'll see that second front move in. So it could bring impacts to traveling plans if you're going to be going somewhere for the Thanksgiving holiday. That's something to keep in mind for Tuesday. And then once that front drops through, we'll pretty much be done with the rain just in time for Thanksgiving on Thursday. And then much cooler air setting up behind that front going into Friday and into that following weekend. So again, storm fuel, it's going to be there, not atypical for this time of year, but on the very low end, both Friday and with that second system early next week.
yeah, overall, the severe risk is not the highest for these two systems.
Mhm.
If anything, it could be likely or more than likely in comparison to the day on Friday for Tuesday. So Tuesday does have that chance, just the way the setup is looking for maybe some stronger end storms. But honestly, thankfully, we're just getting a lot of rainfall and much needed rainfall here in the area. So
Mhm.
right now, sitting at no rain here in the Jackson Metro, but we are going to be talking about a lot more on the way, roughly 1 to 3 inches over the course of the next 7 days.
Yeah, so not talking about torrential raining, just going to be over the span of a couple of days that we'll see about. I would say, yeah, 1 to 3 inches, 3 inches being the most,
Yeah.
but definitely going to be needed since we haven't seen like any rainfall for the month of November. But for the time being, we're going to be dry today, but with some sunshine peeking through, but cloudy skies for the most part for the rest of your Wednesday. So that's pretty much all we've got for you this morning. We'll have more on the timing details. Our high resolution models will probably be a little bit more in play, narrowing down the time frame for that first front on Friday. So make sure to tune into the later newscasts for that, and also for next week's weather to see what kind of impacts there could be for travel wise and even just for the Thanksgiving holiday. So until then, have a great rest of your Wednesday.